For the Hualapai people, the Little Colorado River was the border, our eastern border for our ancestral grounds. Our ancestral grounds went from this part into the main Colorado River as our northwestern border, all the way down to Bill Williams, Santa Maria, and this was, you know, not just Hualapai, but mainly all the Pi tribes. There's 5 Pi tribes: Yavapai Apache, Yavapai Prescott, Hualapai, Havasupai, Pi down in Mexico, which is crazy. You know, there's a tribe of Pi people in Mexico that has been recently discovered, and they also have been given the Native American status recently. And who am I missing? I think that okay. And I think it's pretty safe to say that, you know, the Hopi always knew about us as, you know, as the Pi people to the west side of the Little Colorado River, and Red Butte, which is probably about 70 to 50 miles from here, but which is on top. That's where we usually met to trade with the Hopi. We would trade like elk, deer hides with for like their corn and all the other stuff that was grown. You know, I'm pretty sure there was pottery and baskets that was also shared between the tribes, and you know, it's safe to say that, you know, with the trading going on top, you know, they would probably come down here and, you know, enjoy the river also. But mainly the Little Colorado for us was our ancestral boundary line.
Today we're here at I guess what the Hopi refer to as the Tututskia. We're further up the Little Colorado River where Sipaplani is at. Supposedly Sipaplani is a place of emergence for the Hopi people in mythology, and I think it is true. But I think that all people probably did emerge here in the beginning, and we did make a sacred covenant with Masao at this point to be caretakers of the land, stewards of the land, to respect the land and all living things that are here. Today, that's still practiced out on the Hopi Reservation. We still hold our responsibilities and pray for not only all of the humankind, but also every living thing that walks the earth, as well as all the vegetation. Bonds here with the Hopi people are very, very sacred. There are many things here around this area, as in shrines and hisatkis, places that have many stories. But I think one of the points that can be relayed is that I think that in my thoughts that we're all one people, but we just went our different ways. I think that it's important to remember that we should treat each other with respect, be kind to one another, and take care of the water, especially not pollute it, to not divert it, to let things run as they should freely. It's kind of a shame that we have to abuse it and use it for recreational purposes, as well as hydroelectric power. I feel in my own thoughts that the major rivers of the world are like bloodlines for our mother who takes care of us, which is the earth. I feel a deep responsibility to help conserve these valuable resources. They are essential to everything.
What brought me down here in the canyon was I went on a trip and somebody said, tell me about your culture. I'm really curious because I didn't realize people lived down here before, and I just couldn't believe that they didn't know that. So that's where my career down here was born, and being outside and then also sharing my culture was a way for me to preserve my culture within myself and then to share it with other people. And one of the whole place is sacred, and somebody read us a Von Short poem this morning, and it said that they don't build churches down here, but for us Native people, this is like the equivalent of our church. Mother Earth is our church. When we say we're from here, it's from the sand, from the water that we stand on or that we're on. And the Little Colorado River is a very sacred place, and it really hurts me when I see river trips coming up here with cans of beer in their hands, and then they pour it into the river, and then they go floating by with 2 cans of beer, double fisting it. And that's what I really want to convey to river guides, my fellow river guides, that this is a very sacred place to people. This is our church. And it's a lot of people, river guides, that are not native. This is their home, their second home, maybe their first. And like this river is the Colorado River. There's the Hopi originated from here, and like my relatives here were saying that the LCR is very important in the Navajo stories. And then there's a confluence. Those all have significant meaning, even though we were not born here. It's part of our origination stories, and I really want people to remember that this is not a playground. None of it is. I mean, we use it to play around and have fun and to let loose and to put on our life jackets upside down and float down in a wave train. That's all good and fun, but we should all remember that this is very sacred. It's important to people out there, and please convey that to people. And you would not want me to pour beer anywhere in your yard or on your bed or in your church. That's the kind of thing I really want people to know. And the other thing about Little Colorado River is that it's on Navajo Nation land as the government drew the boundaries. And Little Colorado is one of the places that's really there's a lot of, I wouldn't say there's a lot of controversy around it, because it's a neat place for recreation. It's a holy place for Native Americans, but it's also, people see dollar signs here too, and there's some people, the Navajo Nation administration, current and past, wanted to build, do helicopter tours from the top up on the rim where Navajo land is. They wanted to build a resort up there, and then to have helicopter tours come into the LCR. There's a helipad somewhere around here. And then, take tourists in and out. And, you say, how does that affect Native Americans? In a big way, because it's, I don't approve of it personally, because it affects the whole... The what? Ecology, the natural ecology of this place, but also the physical and emotional and mental well-being of the people, past and current here. Even though there's current past and current Navajo politicians that are for economic development, and this is what they see as progression for our Navajo people. You know, I personally want river guides to be really aware of these issues that could affect them, because I don't want river guide, if it does happen, I don't want river guides to say, you know, we didn't know about this, or, you know, why are they doing this? And, you know, we need, river guides, we need to be more informed about the contemporary issues that are occurring around our home down here. And so there's all these issues coming up, and to be aware of those kind of issues, especially when you start from Lee's Ferry. How many people know that the left side of the river is Navajo Nation? Well, actually, from the center to the left side is Navajo Nation land. And if you ask Park Service officials or people well versed in the government lingo, Navajo Nation land has been pushed back up to the high water mark. Then it's been pushed back up to a mile past the top of the rim. So it depends on who you ask where that is. But if you ask us, you know, all of it belongs to all of us. But where the government draws the boundaries, I mean, that's a big issue. I went on a river trip, and these guides didn't even know that that land, you know, was, you know, considered part of Navajo Nation land. And then you have down further near National, that's Hualapai land. How many people know that? It's very important for the up-and-coming young river guides to know the Native American history, contemporary and, you know, the current history of this whole area. And it's not Navajos and Hopis and Hualapai and Havasupai make really good baskets and rugs and beautiful jewelry. We're more than that. That is our art form. You know, we have, you know, like Calvin was saying, my Nully, there's a lot more beyond that, contemporary. So, you know, we're more than silver and baskets.